Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be using a team for the Not-Dex VGC tier. Now, some of you guys might be asking, what's Not-Dex VGC, and why haven't I heard about it? Well, in today's video, we're going to be doing a hypothetical scenario. What if the VGC decks carried over every single Pokemon? This includes Megas, includes regional forms, it includes everything. If it is legal in the Not-Dex tier, we are allowing it. And we're doing this through the Not-Dex Draft 4v4 format. I'm taking on my good pal Incog, and we're going to be doing a best of 3 with this. So if you enjoy, of course, and you want to see more like this, leave a like. I think it was a pretty interesting idea to do it, of course, because it's one of those things where everyone's always talks about, what if certain Mons came back in the decks, or what if Megas came back in Scarlet and Violet? And here is our video to find out what that would be like. So with that said, let's break down the team that I decided to bring for this format. So first up, we do have Tailwind Mega Salamence with Tailwind, Draco Meteor, Protection, Double Edge. With the 196 attack, this was just mostly considering I wanted to do as much damage with Double Edge as possible. Terra isn't really important on this mon at all, obviously, because it is a Mega Evolution, and we can't really stack the different alternate mechanics. It's the same thing if we decided to use Z moves here, or if we decided to use Dynamax, which I think Dynamax is just flat out banned anyway. But besides the point though, doesn't really make a difference here either way. So with Mega Salamence though, our goal is to intimidate pre-Mega and then probably just go for Mega Evolution plus Tailwind. This should help a ton with our other Pokemon in the party. So I feel pretty good about this mon just doing a ton of damage. We're Hasty Nature just to benefit from the mixed attack. Draco is a really spammable move against a lot of dragons. Meanwhile, Double Edge will be valuable against the majority of the format. This does have a little bit of an issue with steals, but just wait a moment and we'll get into fixing that. Next up though, we do have Grimmsnarl before we get into our steel counter. With the Light Clay, this is obviously designed to just be a really strong screen setter for Mega Salamence. We're leaning on the SPF side, mostly just because a lot of the things that we're using this to check will be things like ghost types and other special attacking type Pokemon. Because while not every ghost is special, same as for Psychic, a lot of them do lean that way, so may as well go SPF. We have Spirit Break here as a good offensive option. Offensive Fairy is just a really good offensive solo option, and Parting Shot is great to get momentum into whatever other Pokemon we'd want to use. Also not going with Sucker Punch here, mostly just because of the fact that we're not very Psychic weak, and also trying to make this thing full on priority with every attack is bad for Psychic Terrain opposing. Up next, we do have Chi-Yu, our really strong steel type counter. We have the Terra Blast, Heat Wave, Flamethrower, and Dark Pulse with the Assault Vest. I decided to go with Terra Fairy here, as I felt like this would be a really strong way for Chi-Yu to actually have a defense presence with that AV. Could be really good for different dragons, such as obviously the Salamence, but also stuff like Hydreigon. I felt like this would be a good check for. With Terra Blast as well, we're able to offensively pressure a lot of those dragons that otherwise would at least walleye Fire Stabs. Ultimately though, this is just meant to be a really strong offensive piece. And in tandem with Mega Ments, I do think that these two will be Nightmarish and Tailwind. Up next, we do have Clefairy with the Friend Guard ability. I decided to throw on Protect, Helping Hand, Icy Wind, and Follow Me. This is just another SPF set because really Clefairy doesn't have any physical defensive presence. But on the special side, if nothing else, I feel like Clefairy just typically is able to check a lot of special mons better, but maybe I'm oversighting this for what it's worth. I do think that Clefairy realistically though, it's just going to be meant to utilize things such as Follow Me to ensure Tailwind gets up easier, go for Helping Hand on Ments and Chi-Yu, or even just go for Icy Wind as another form of speed control, which would especially be valuable if I'm anticipating a taunt into Ments. Up next, we do have Raichu with the Terra Steel. Now, this is actually meant to be my check to Regieleki. With Terra Steel, we're able to resist both ice and grass, which are the two types I'm anticipating. Water would obviously be weak to electric, and it's still neutral to Terra Steel anyway. Meanwhile, with the Lightning Rod ability, we're completely immune to things such as Electro Web and Thunderbolt. I did think it was necessary to dedicate a check to this because I don't actually have a ground type on this team, so having Raichu specifically to dedicate to any sort of common Regieleki that might come, I thought could be valuable. I don't know if Incog will bring it, but it's a mon that I was really fucking scared of with the other 5, and I thought this was a good check. We do have Thunderbolt though as a nice solo target attack with Fake Out as well for utility. Encore will be great to lock setup mons into their setup moves, and Electro Web should be a strong form of speed control. We're Focus Sash, but this could also be Covert Cloak if you guys decide to recreate this team yourselves for any sort of Not-Dex VGC tiering. But yeah, we do have our final mon though with the Tapu Fini. This is the Wiki Berry. We have Protect, Moonblast, Muddy Water, and Calm Mind. With the 220 speed here, I designed the spread in a way so that way then we could ensure that Finny was outpacing any sort of base 80 mons. This would be stuff like Gardevoir and Gallade, of course, as they're both pretty strong options. We also have Muddy Water as a strong spread move. This can lower accuracy of our opponents. And with Terra Water, I just figured we have a lot of fairies on the team, so if I'm going to Terra this in anything, it may as well be water. But you could also utilize attacks such as Grass, which will give you a nice resistance to electric while still keeping a lot of your other resistances. and most people won't go for things like fire moves into Tapu Fini anyway. But with that said, though, that's going to be the team for today. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the battles. Peace out, guys. Hello, everybody. We're here today taking on my good pal Incog in a best of 3 VGC set. If VGC was today held with the full National Dex. I figured this would be an interesting video to do, and if you guys enjoy this, let me know by hitting the like button below. I know a lot of the VGC battles we've done have been obviously in the VGC format, and I get that objectively this isn't like the traditional VGC tier, but this is the closest we could possibly get to recreating what a Not-Dex VGC could look like. So I'm gonna hope you guys enjoy, and again, let me know if you want to try and see some more on the channel, and also let me know if you guys want to possibly get in on some of these. I might pick some people. I'm going to probably start at least for the first few with people who I'm really familiar with, but I might reach out to some other people. Again, just depends on interest. But we're going to be doing this in the best of 3 format, and so good luck and fun to, of course, my good pal Avery. I'll link his stuff down below for anyone who is interested, of course. I've done a few different things, though most of my stuff with Incog, I will say, has been on his channel. But of course, I mean, Incog's still a great friend nonetheless, so I would welcome him anytime on mine. And I'm glad that he was the first person. I saw he'd upload VGC the other day, and I figured, you know, let's get him on the channel. So my opponent's team, though, consists of Clodsire, Mousehold, Iron Hands, Reuniclus, Mawile, I'm gonna guess this is Mega. I'm gonna assume it's Mega until otherwise, and then Slow King Galar. So we actually took extremely different approaches to this, but it's still really cool to see his team nonetheless. I actually went with the screens of Mega Men's team, so I'm literally like the opposite of his to a fault. So looking at this, we do get 4 mons, of course, again, replicating the VGC style here. I think I'm gonna lead off with Raichu and Mega Salamence. No, I think that, yeah, Raichu Mega Salamence actually could be a pretty decent lead. I will say Mawile is giving me a little bit of doubts. I'm actually gonna lead off with Raichu I should say. Yeah, that's my lead comp, and that's what I'm calling it for now on. We're gonna throw on Salamence for sure here. I like Salamance's matchup a lot, and then I think that final mon will probably be. It's probably going to be Finny, I feel like. I feel like Finny kind of has to be the final mon. It's just too blanket good. Claude could actually be super annoying for this comp. It's truthfully, I think if anything here is going to ruin me, it's going to be Clodsire. They're probably going to go for the, if I had to guess, they're going to go for Fake Out here with Iron Hands. So I'm actually going to Fake Out the Iron Hands specifically so I don't get Fake Outed. And I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse into Clumpy, the Reuniclus. Because I know this is going to fake out. Yep, it did try and go for fake out. I'm shocked this mon lived, I'll be honest. I know we're AVGU, but even still, I'm just genuinely shocked it took the hit. What I'm going to proceed to do here, I'm going to proceed to go for an Electro Web. Well, I mean, it's... Okay, so I don't really actually get anything attacking Iron Hands. Never mind. I'm just going to go for Thunderbolt here. And then I'm going to switch out Chiyu and go into... Well, I could go for Terra Fairy here, to be fair, and Terra Fairy plus Heat Wave actually would be pretty decent. But I kind of want to preserve this a little bit, so we're going to go into... No, we're going to go for... Yeah, I'm going to go into Finny, because they can't actually go for Thunder Punch anyway here, because of the fact that we have Raichu up, so I'm not really too concerned with this. They go for the Focus Sash route, this is fine. They obviously do avoid the Thunderbolt this way, but I'm not too concerned with this. From here, what I'm going to proceed to do, I'm going to proceed to go for the Electro Web in case of another ally switch. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Muddy Water. Even with the attack boost, I still feel like we'll take this hit, so I'm not too concerned. They're going to go for Psychic, so be it. And meanwhile, Wild Charge. Oh my god, Wild Charge just KO'd. Holy shit. Okay, so we've seen Drain Punch and Wild Charge from this one. Interesting. Drain Punch and Wild Charge. Oh, and also... Booster Energy. Good to note. And then Reuniclus has Ally, Switch, Psychic, and Trick Room. Okay. Good information nonetheless. So what I'm going to proceed to do here, I'm definitely going to go for the... I'm going to definitely go for the Mega Evolution here and go for Protect. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for the Terrestrial Fairy and go for Heat Wave. I'm going to assume that my opponent will try and click a fighting move into Chiyu and try and gain back a bunch of HP here, which will not be allowed. No, you are not allowed to do that. No fighting move for you. So we'll get this Protect off though, just in case of a random ally switch, and then, yep, Drain Punch goes off. Shouldn't do a lot, but albeit that did more than I expected. The Chiyu missed the fucking Iron Hands. That's actually really bad for us. Okay. So what I'm going to proceed to do here, I'm going to proceed to go for Double Edge into the Iron Hand spot. Meanwhile, again, I'm just going to go for Heat Wave. Heat Wave, I feel like, is my only play here. They're going to proceed to get a player off, so be it. Even if I get the double protect, I couldn't really KO both mons. I basically need to bank on this not hitting. So very unfortunate, but of course, you know, game 1, it is how it is. So that should be game number 1. They do... Did they forget Intimidate on this? Let's see. So they brought in Mawile. Yeah, they didn't have Intimidate on Mawile. That's good to know. This is one of those reasons why I specifically never go for the assuming abilities pre-match. Because if I a lot of the times in my notes, I try and note down things that have only been proven, because otherwise stuff like the no Intimidate Mawile happens. Which I'm assuming, for what it's worth, I was probably just incog thinking he would just always Mega Maw because Mawile is garbage without it. But yeah. So good luck, have fun to my opponent. And for game number 2, what I think I'm going to end up doing, I feel like that I definitely need to lead off with... So I think ultimately I'm going to lead off with Clefairy. No, I'm not going to lead off with Clefairy. I think Raichu's is still a strong lead here. But I think I'm going to lead off with Mega Salamence. I think Mega Salamence is probably the better option there. Because truthfully, I feel like that I could probably take out... Let's see, so we're 187 special attack. This is probably some sort of really bulky... Spadef set. So yeah, I am just gonna go for the Mega Salamence hit, and I'm just gonna go for the Double Edge. Meanwhile, I'm gonna bring Grimmsnarl on the back for sure, and I think I am gonna still bring Chiyu. I feel like Chiyu is still really strong here. They're gonna lead off with Reuniclus Mousehold here. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to proceed to click Electro Web turn 1 into the Double Edge and Reuniclus, because Electro Web will be a good spread option. It's a good speed dropping move. And then meanwhile, Double Edge will either guarantee take out the Mousehold entirely, which I'm still fine with that, actually. That should still be really good for us. Or B, and this is more so strictly to avoid the Double Edge. Not to avoid Double Edge, to avoid Follow Me there. They're going to go for Population Bomb on the Raichu. That's going to KO. That's definitely going to KO. Oh, if only I click Terra Steel. Oh, shit. I'll definitely take this, actually. I got really bailed. I can't lie. They're going to get the Trick 'em Up. Okay, so be it. We're going to switch out... Am I gonna switch out? No, I can't even switch out. Fuck. Okay. So I need to just stay in and click Electro Web, because I don't really have a better switch in. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for the Double Edge again into the Reuniclus, because I just need to get the damage off. They're gonna go for Psychic. This isn't a huge deal. Super Fang thankfully does not do enough, and we take out the Reuniclus. Beautiful. Okay. So Mousehold has revealed, of course, Super Fang and Population Bomb. That's fine. Super Fang, Population Bomb, and then Reuniclus is taken out right now. So we're gonna go into Grim. We're going to proceed to, let's see, I'm gonna go for Light Screen turn 1, and then next turn I'm gonna go for Protect. I'm gonna go for the Reflect, and I'm gonna go for Protect on Ments though, because Ments ultimately, again, I'm just trying to preserve this thing as much as possible, and I feel more threatened by the special offense that they have than by the physical offense, even if Population Bomb in itself does have a lot going for it. What I'm going to proceed to do now, I'm going to go for the Reflect here. Meanwhile, I'm going to click, I think I'm going to click Double Edge into the Galish Slowking. I feel like that's my best interest here. They're going to go for another Sludge Bomb. That's not a huge concern. Population Bomb will probably take us out unless they get like very minuscule amount of hits. Thankfully, they seem to be more support oriented, which actually works out really well for us. And now what I could proceed to do, we'll just have Chiyu left, but I think that Chiyu can manage this. The only exception would be specifically if Clodzire's here, but even still, Clodzire should be not a big deal. We'll go for Parting Shot into the Mousehold spot. Meanwhile, I'm going to proceed to go for the Heat Wave here. Heat Wave should be a really strong attack, and I could potentially go for the Dark Pulse into the Glow King on the following turn, so I'm not too concerned with this. We know that Glow King as well has Sludge Bomb, which is, again, good information. And then Mousehold doesn't reveal the new move, right? Okay. I know I can hover over stuff on Showdown, but I still like taking the notes just so I remember what my opponent's done and hasn't done. Speaking of, I should be noting down what game 1. So my opponent led off with Iron Hands, Reuniclus, and then they brought Mawile Mega in the back. Game 2, Mousehold and Reuniclus, and then Glow King and Mawile Mega. Okay, so we're gonna click. We're just gonna click the. Well, what could this even attack me with? That would be threatening. I'm just gonna go for Heat Wave here. I kind of have to just go for Heat Wave here because I feel like that this is realistically gonna be a bad scenario if I don't. But it's gonna bank on Heat Wave hitting, essentially. Yet again, it's gonna bank on Heat Wave hitting. For what it's worth, I don't know if it 100% mattered in game 1. It's definitely gonna be the game ender here, because I need to hit a Heat Wave on both these mons, essentially is what it's gonna come down to. Shiyu really just needs to land on both these mons, and if it doesn't land, then I think I lose. Heat Wave lands, beautiful. Okay, so we're into game 3, which is great. So we're gonna be in game 3, but good luck, have fun to Avery in this set. So Avery's led off with Trickery in both games. Reuniclus has been the lead. We don't know what the 4th mon was in game 1, but in game 2 we know all 4. The only thing that has not come yet was Clodsire. But let's see. So what am I gonna lead? So I haven't been Claude yet. I feel a lot more safe in a Finny Wincon here, but at the same time, there's still Iron Hands, which I need to worry about. I don't know if I'm gonna lead off with Raiju again, because I know I've led off with Raiju both games as a potential fake out option. But Iron Hands didn't lead last game, and I feel like that this means that I don't lead off with Raiju then, because Raiju is only a good lead to stop Iron Hands, in my opinion. So I think instead I'm actually going to lead off with Salamence and Shiyu. I feel like it's just a really good offensive lead for me. So I'm going to lead off with Salamence, Shiyu. I'm going to bring Clefairy as my partner. I feel like Clefairy is really decent here. Especially if they bring Trickery, I could potentially encore some stuff, which should be valuable. And I think I'm going to bring Finny as a Wincon. It's either going to be Finny or Grim. I'm not sure which. I think I'm going to go with... Finny. But good luck and fun to Avery in game number 3. And they're going to lead off with Reuniclus again and Mawile. Beautiful. So nothing that should be threatening. Beautiful. Okay. If they let off with Iron Hands here, this could have been bad. They're actually Hyper Cutter. Hyper Cutter is actually also a good ability. I know beforehand I had mentioned, oh, this is why isn't this terminate Mawile? It's because it's Hyper Cutter, which helps a lot with the offensive Maw here, of course. So that makes total sense. We're going to proceed to go for the... I'm going to proceed to go for the Flamethrower. No, I'm going to go for Heat Wave here. And then I'm going to proceed to go for Mega Evolution and Double Edge into Reuniclus, and that should be pretty solid. I believe with the mouse hold up, we did around 70%. Now, that could have been Technician mouse hold, to be fair, but still obviously good to note. Their Maw should drop to this, which should be valuable. Yep, Maw just drops the Heat Wave. Beautiful. Okay. So game number... All right, Maw number 1 is gone. The Iron Hands is a little bit tricky here, but what I think I'm going to ultimately do, I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse here, and I'm going to click Double Edge here, because it's going to essentially just be a game of what can I kill. They're going to go for Fake Out into Chiyu. That's fine. Double Edge does not kill the Iron Hands. Very unfortunate. Okay. So I'm going to go for Terra Fairy here. This might be a bit of a throw, but I'm actually... So the game plan ultimately with this, I'm going to click Terra Fairy here and go for Heat Wave. And I'm actually going to switch in Clefairy hard. Now, this should help Chiyu with taking this hit better, even if they do go for Wild Charge here. Albeit, Wild Charge might just KO. This is a really fucking offensive Pokemon. But I don't really have a better Terra Captain on this team, or Terramon on this team this game, because it's either Finny, which is weak to Electric anyway. They're going to go for Rock Slide. Oh, are you fucking kidding? Okay. I don't know if how much that mattered, but it's definitely very unfortunate to say the least. So that's a yikes. Okay. So what I'm going to proceed to do, I need to take out Iron Hands, like ASAP. So I'm going to go for Moonblast here, and I'm going to go for Follow Me and Clefairy. I'm going to hope this thing goes for Wild Charge, but if it goes for Rock Slide, that's fine. I'm not too concerned with this. We know from last turn as well that Psychic should not take us out, so I'll definitely take that. They're going to go for Wild Charge here. That's fine. They're taking Recoil, so I'm content with this. We're going to go for Moonblast. That does like no damage. If only I click Muddy Water there. We're going to click Protect, and I'm going to proceed to click Double Edge, because Double Edge should do more to Iron Hands. If they go for another Ally Switch here, this cursed fucking move. I'm so glad it can fail this gen. I'm really hoping that it fails. That'd be so funny. Okay. So they're going to go for Psychic here, and they're probably going to go for Wild Charge. Fuck. Nope, they go into Finny. Beautiful. Okay, this works out really well. Iron Hands is gone. They only have one spot left. It's Clodsire. Are you fucking shitting me? This is definitely unaware. I'm not unaware. This is definitely Water Absorb. This is objectively Water Absorb. I'm going for Calm Mind, and I'm going to go for Protect. They're Terra Poison. That's fine. I wonder if... Oh, motherfucker. Motherfucker. Oh my god. Okay. So, I need to go for Moonblast here, and I need to go for the... What am I going to chance? I think ultimately, I'm actually going to go for Muddy Water plus Double Edge. Because, objectively speaking, I know Reuniclus can go for a Trick Room again. Objectively, I know that. If this is not unaware though, then objectively I lose the game every time. Why not just KOing us here? And I definitely can't KO the Reuniclus right now, so I'm gonna go for this. They're going to, okay, yep, that's fine. Claude's just gonna KO. That's very unfortunate. And it just missed? What the fuck? Okay, that's so terrible. Avery was probably water absorbed for what it's worth anyway, but like, oh my god, it was such an awful way to lose. Because I can't even verify it now. Objectively, he probably was. Really good play either way. Preserving Claude until the third set, right at Bait Infinity. I'm assuming it was intentional. Really good set regardless though. Check out Avery if you want to check him out down below. I highly recommend. One of my best friends in this community. Well, I mean, I'd like to think Avery is a pretty good friend of mine. I throw in the best friend turn a lot, but in terms of like fellow content creators, Avery is definitely someone who has helped me out on a ton of different things. Someone who I personally love talking to. I would consider Avery a really good friend. But definitely someone who, of course, you know, I think that if you're enjoying my content and you want to see someone who does a lot of free-for-alls and has been doing some VGC this channel as well, 100% go check out and sub to Avery. I could not recommend him more enough. But hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe. Shout out to channel members, of course, being Josh, aka Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke Zero, Matt O'Shea, Nox Nocturnal, and Koami. Your guys' support is greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to see more content, of course, links to the Twitter and Discord down below to stay up to date on future vids. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of vids. I would love to do some more with some other people or even bring back Avery. But we'll see you guys later. Until then, peace out, guys.